Hi friends, welcome to Friday Facebook Live. I'm Peggy Noe. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and my blog is prettypapercards.com, and this is my little Yorkshire Terrier Ellie, and she has a brand new set of sunglasses today, and she doesn't really prefer wearing them. I showed them on the Tuesday Facebook Live if you were on that. And I think people liked it. She wore them on that, and then they kind of fall off. But anyway, here they are. They're the pink sunglasses. They're the Elton John sunglasses. Pink rose-colored glasses that go with her pink bow. I thought it was pretty appropriate. Hey Sue, hey Robin, hey Tammy. I don't know if you guys saw Ellie with her pink glasses, so I thought I'd show them again today. We'll see how long she keeps them on. And just welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. I hope things are nice where you are. The weather is good for you. It's warm here, but not too warm. And so we're enjoying it. I hope you're not too warm where you are. Last week, quite a few of you shared, and I really want to tell you thank you so much for sharing. Sharing the video, sharing the Facebook Live. We had 5 people who shared, and the prize was a set of Stampin' Dimensionals, mini Stampin' Dimensionals, which we all need. Let me get that straight. Okay, mini Stampin' Dimensionals. And Marcia won. I used the random number generator. You can pull it up on Facebook and you put in the number of people that shared and you push generate and it generates a number, and I had a number assigned to Marcia and she won. So Marcia F., I will be contacting you by private messaging, and if you hear this, you contact me too. I think I have your address and I'll get this out to you, and I so appreciate you guys sharing. Now this week I'm going to be sharing the Tags in Bloom stamp set. This is a stamp set from Celebration, but one reason I'm sharing it today is because it uses the Label Me Lovely punch, and we're going to be using this punch today on our card. There's a lot of brightness on there, isn't there? But the Label Me Lovely punch is going to be used today on our card, and so I thought I would give away for next week this Tags in Bloom stamp set that works and coordinates with that same punch. So share. I love it when you share. Anybody can share. Share to your friends. Share on your own timeline. You can do that just so that other people can hear about our Facebook Live and can join in and see what kind of cards we make. Ellie's doing her thing where she wants to get down. I think she's about done with her glasses. And I want to thank my friend Sue Moore, my friend in downline Sue Moore, who made the cutest card and posted it today. It was a card using the little Yorkshire Terrier from the new pet set. And I'll be posting that on my blog. I'm going to share her card with you next week, so be watching for that. Okay, we're going to take Ellie's glasses off and let her get down and take her little nap today. And the set we're going to use today is the Lovely You bundle, as I mentioned, the Lovely You bundle, and so I'll just show it to you here. The stamp set is real neat, and it goes with this, and everything's lovely today. So the punch that we're going to use later is Label Me Lovely punch, and this set is Lovely You, and its coordinating bundle item is the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch, and I think I've used it on here before, but it's the one that has you can do all sizes of sentiment strips and labels with little cute ends, and we're going to use it again today, so it's going to be a punch day. And I want to show you this stamp set in the catalog because I kind of want you to see what they did with it. And we're going to do a variation on that today. It's on page 22 of the annual catalog. And I got the idea for my card today from this card, and it's very beautiful. You can see how they basically made their own designer series paper, and that's what we're going to do today. That's one of the techniques. I'm going to show you two different techniques. One is stamping off, and one is create your own patterned paper background or designer series paper. And they did it just with the stamps in this set. And they used three beautiful colors. I think it's Mango Melody, I think is what they used, and Night of Navy, and it looks like gray, smoky slate, crumb cake, one of those colors. But I think it's really a beautiful card. I didn't want to duplicate it. I wanted to do something different. But if you want to check out the idea, it's on page 22 of the annual catalog. So let's get started. And the cards we're going to make today, we're going to make one, but I have two ideas for you. This is the one we're going to make. And it uses the really kind of very leafy stamp set. And the colors are mango, I've got mango in my mind, mint macaron, it all starts with an M, mint macaron, and the ink is Highland Heather, and the paper is Purple Posy. And I think always, hey Carol, thanks so much for sharing with your sister. I think this purple and green are always a fabulous color combination, and any shade of them generally looks beautiful together. And I think it's because most greens have a blue in them, and so mint macaron is pretty blue, and so is these two purples. So this is the card we're going to make today. But another one I made just as a sample with different colored cardstock and ink is this one that uses petal pink ink and petal pink cardstock, and I also have that coordinating with the mint macaron. And I think this one looks really lovely. You could put a doily in there, some vellum. It could actually work. I think this one would be beautiful for a wedding card with a different sentiment, and even with the petal pink color here, could be a beautiful wedding card. So let's get started. Let me get out all my pieces here for our card, and we're going to start with a different type of card base. And you may have used this card base before. Most of them open from right to left, and they would either be portrait or landscape, open from bottom to top. But this is one that is a long card, and it's actually 11 inches long by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And this is a fun type of card because people don't expect it. So it's a fun card base, and that's what we're going to use today. And then we're going to use, we're going to put on a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of mint macaron cardstock. But first we're going to make our background, our designer series paper, our own designer series paper, our patterned paper background. And I'm going to use the mint macaron. And what I'm going to teach you today is, if you don't already know it, and you probably do, but it's such a fun technique because it can get a completely different look, and that is stamping off. That means you stamp on your ink, basically, to get a lot of ink on your stamp. And I told you this is the little fern-looking stamp in the set. And then you stamp off to the side and leave some of the ink on your grid paper. And then you just start stamping on your paper, and you repeat that. Stamp with the ink, stamp off, stamp on your paper. And you just keep going this way. And it's really fun because you can be very arbitrary. And sometimes I like to stamp twice on the ink to get a little more color, and just stamp off once. And really, you can fill in holes later. But I just go around like this, and I think it's such a soft look. I really do like stamping off, especially for backgrounds, because it's such a soft look. And if you forget to stamp off, you'll see that you'll have a bright colored image, and that's kind of fun too. You could make that a focus of your card if you wanted to. So I think that's good enough. We've just covered our we've covered our piece of Whisper White cardstock just lightly with the stamp and mint macaron ink. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the piece of mint macaron cardstock, and I'm going to have it come up to this edge because that's the kind of card we're doing today. It's one that opens from the bottom, and if you set your card this way, it kind of emphasizes it if you set the pieces up to the top edge. So that's what I'm going to do. I put on my multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to pop that right up to the top, just like that. So there we have our pattern paper on our background, and now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to adhere it to the card base up at the fold. And I think this is just really a great way to really make a point of the fact that this card opens differently, and it kind of tells your recipient, the person you give it to, hey, open this card in a different way. And I'm going to see if I can get that a little more. It's a little, well, it's just a little bit off to the side down here. I think I might have cut that piece of mint macaron a little off, but I don't think you can really notice it. When you get started, you really don't notice it. Okay, so this is the basics of our card, the bottom of our card. Now we're going to start with, and here's the sample again, we're going to start with this cute little sentiment, and I'm just really featuring the sentiment by using this punch here. So this again is our Label Me Lovely punch. I just love punching. You know, you can just do it so quick. It makes making a card very quick. So I'm going to punch out my purple posy cardstock, just like that. And now we're going to punch out some Whisper White. And this is where we're going to feature our sentiment. And I'll show you what we're going to do with this. Okay. So now we've made our two punched images. And we're going to have it turned to the side with the flat ends off to the right. And one thing I want to do here is I want to stamp some more, just a couple of images of this same leaf pattern. And I'm just doing more stamping off just for purposes of this video, just to clean that stamp real quick. And I'm going to use some Highland Heather ink and stamp it in there, because I want to get just a little bit of that that same image on my piece here. So there we go, just a tiny bit. Now you can use Stampin' Dimensionals if you want to feature one on, you know, this piece on top of the other, and I've got it angled a little bit down. Can you see that? I think that just gives a nice little look. But I'm not going to put dimensionals right here this time. I'm going to just adhere it with a little bit of my glue and pop it down there. Let's see. What the trick to this is to get the flat edges to match. And the distance between right here, can you see that? The distance between the white and the purple posy the same, and that makes it work. So now we're going to adhere this piece and put the side, match our sides right over to this side of the designer series paper that we made. So here we go. You only need a couple of dimensionals. These are the large, the regular size Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're just going to pop this over here on the side. And I'm going a little lower. You know, they say if you just add some interest on a card by going a little lower, a little to the side. And so that is ready now for our sentiment. And our sentiment, let's remind you, from the set is Just Because. And I'm going to stamp it on a piece of purple posy 3/4 inches wide. Now the thing about this this punch that we're going to use is, again, this labels Pick-a-Punch, and so it fits, which is fabulous, the 1 inch, the 3/4 inch, or the 1/2 inch strip. And so today I'm going to use the 3/4 inch strip size, and we'll see that our piece of cardstock fits right in there. And now I'm only going to do one edge because the other edge I'm going to cut flat. I don't know if you saw that. So I'm going to tip this upside down because the best way to use this punch is by looking right in here. Can you see that? And then you can see that your paper is even and it's pushed all the way to the end. So I'm going to punch that, and that's all we're going to do with that punch. And then we're going to add our sentiment, which is just because, and I'm going to stamp it today in black memento ink. And let's get a lot of color on it. It's a very thin font, and so the writing is very thin, and I want to be sure to get enough of the ink in there. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm leaving this side, I'm going to cut it flat in just a minute. But first, I want to, it gives me enough space to move my sentiment back and forth, and I don't have to get it quite as perfect that way. But I do want to get it pretty even. So I'm going to put that down and hope it comes out right. That turned out great. And I had plenty of strip of colored left in case I made a mistake, which I always, I do, and you do, we all do. So now what we're going to do is set this on our card and just test it and see where we want to cut. And that gives me a good idea of where I want to cut. I'm going to get it even in between these two edges, and I want it to hang over to the left just a little bit. And then I can just put my paper snips in there, and I'm just going to do a little tick there so that I can tick tick so that I can actually cut it straighter on my own. And let's see if that turned out. That looks pretty good. It's not perfect. Actually, I think I did. I don't know, there's a little bit of white sticking out there, so I'll put that over a bit. And now, hey Norma, good to see you. So now I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on my strip, and I'm just going to lay this up over. And I think it's really a cute way to feature your sentiment by highlighting it, by putting these punched images and punched and stamped images behind. And isn't that cute? I just think that's a really cute card. Now we have to remember, I think I'm going to use my Highland Heather ink again on my Fernie stamp, and we're going to stamp inside our card. I'm going to stamp off again, and that's just what it's supposed to be, nice and a little shadow. And let me see, let me grab an envelope. Oh, you know what? I forgot the gem, which is very important. So I'm going to stamp right here. I think I'll stamp in full color there. And now we've got our envelope stamped, and I forgot these beautiful gems I wanted to show you. They're from the annual catalog, but they're new. And look at how pretty these are. They're called the Elegant Faceted Gems. I think they're from the Peony Suite. And I just love them. And I used, let's see, on the Petal Pink sample that I did, I used one of those gems because they come in 3 colors. They come in Petal Pink, clear, and this frosted diamond look, which is what I want to use here today. And I just pick those up with my, pick them up with my scissors. You could definitely use your anything else, our Stampin' Up tool, but I just like my scissors. Now did that? I don't think the gooey stuff came off. You have to be careful to get that gooey stuff off. Okay, I'm going to go for another one. You have to kind of dig in there and get that gooey stuff, the little, I hope that came off. It's like a little glue dot. There, that one worked. And I will go back and put a glue dot on that other one. I'm not going to lose it because they're too special. So there is our adorable little card using the Lovely You bundle. Isn't that cute? I really like it. I think it's a beautiful bundle. I think it's well worth getting, and you know you get 10% off with the bundles. And this punch is a great punch. I think you'll use it a lot. And and I think I've shown you several times really how to use it. So let's go back to we'll go back here, and I'll just say thank you so much for seeing this great bundle and how it works. And if you share, so far I've only seen that Carol shared it, and I have a whole stamp set to give away today. So if you're watching on the replay, oh, I forgot, I'm not under. Be sure to catch this and share, because you can share anytime between now and next Friday when I look right before I do the Facebook Live. And if you share, you can be put into a drawing to win this Tags and Bloom stamp set, and I really hope that you do. It's a great, great set. Don't forget, right now with Stampin' Up, we're having the bonus days coupons. I write these things down so I remember the correct name. So if you place a $50 order with me, you will get a $5 coupon to use in August when all the holiday stuff comes out, August 4th. And I think next week I'm going to start sharing holiday projects so that you can really make your list and start getting excited about your holiday list. So then you'll have a coupon to use in August, and that'll be great. So Sue, thank you. Sue Moore is on today, and I'm going to be watching for her card that I'm going to feature on my blog next week, because it's a super cute card that she made with me in mind and little Ellie. And so I want you to really see that card. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you have a great weekend and play with your stamps. Okay, see you next time.